Hey there, Foxy Gamers! Welcome to a cute little game called Blockhood. This has been out for a little while on Steam now, and I've had it and played it a bit, and I thought I would share it with you today. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We're gonna start with the challenges, and I'll kind of explain how this works as we go. It's not really your typical, like, city builder or anything like that. It's more of a, I guess I would call it a puzzle game in a way. And I don't really know how to classify it, but you'll understand in a minute here. So we start out with 20 money, and these are the things that we can build. And everything you see in here is going to have an input and an output column. And what the input means is that's what you need in order to run that square. And the output is what it's going to produce at the cost of the input. So you can see right now that the solar panel doesn't cost anything. So we're gonna go ahead and build that because that is free electricity. But you want to keep in mind that it takes up space on your block, and the only way you can build is up. And there's certain things like parks and solar panels and that sort of thing that can't have anything built on top of them. So you don't want to just line up this side with your solar panels because they're not very efficient. So you see these red triangles that come out from the object that you're placing. Those are their access points. Everything needs to have accessibility. So here in our data viz, we can take a look at our axis, and because this is blue, that means it has access. Anything that's on the edge of your map or a line up to a corridor will have access there. Okay, so our goal here is to get 250 water. Water is going to take money to produce. So what we're going to want to do, I'm not going to build that just yet because I'm going to take this kind of slow, but in order to create money, we're going to need this corner store. I believe that's the only thing that will produce money for us. And we need laborers and consumers, which basically come from our residents. Actually, I guess we are going to have to build water pretty quickly. So, never mind. Alright, we'll go ahead and put a water pump there. And we're also going to want a park, because that will create fresh air and leisure for us. I'm just going to start with one little ash tree right there. You can see our money is decreasing, and even though this tree is using water, our water pump is producing more than we need, so that is good. Whoops, I don't really need this open here. Alright, so we have enough of these inputs to build a small apartment. But I'm gonna put a corridor along here, kind of split up our map so that we can have things going down the middle that can get access. Alright, so here's our little apartment. You just hit the R key to rotate buildings. And now you can see we're producing consumers and labor. So I'll extend out this corridor, just one more spot here. Kind of a weird, this game is sort of isometric, but not really, because it's like 3D isometric, so it's kind of cool. Sort of messes with my mind, but that's okay. Alright, we're going to drop down this corner store, even though we don't really have that many consumers right now. That's okay. I'll show you what happens if you don't have the required items. We can go into our inspect tool here, and now you can see the small apartment. We have our rate of production, and we also have the decay, 0 out of 8. So that's not decaying at all. But our corner store is decaying, so every time it creates a production unit, it's going to have 1 decay, because it doesn't have enough consumers in order to run this store. And once it reaches 8, then this block will disappear. So it's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna go ahead and build another small apartment over here. And you can see this little blue arrow means that this object has synergy with something, which is this ash tree. There's really no way to tell exactly what has synergy with other things. You just kind of have to experiment with it. I happen to know that one already, but... Alright, so our electricity is going down pretty quickly. I want to make a windmill because it's going to produce twice as much as our solar panel. Now everything is in positive except for fresh air. And we can build another park. This one is pretty good. It does give us a lot of organic waste, but we won't have to build as many parks if we do that one. So I'm going to, let's see, it needs to have access. I guess I'll build it over here because I want it to be next to another apartment building eventually. Let's not forget our goal though, that we want to produce 250 water. We have enough things going for now that I think we can just go ahead and focus on that. We might start losing money, but that's okay. We've got 25 money in the bank, and we're actually still producing 0.1 money. Let's check up on our corner store though. Yeah, it's doing all right. Oh, but our small apartment is decaying. Now, will that reduce itself? Let's find out. Yes, okay. So once you have the required inputs for something, if it has decayed, the decay will go back down. So our corner store might kind of go back and forth a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it because it won't take us all that long to get our needed water. In fact, I'm going to build another water tower there. Let's actually go ahead and build another apartment too. Speed this up a bit. And there we have another synergy by building 2 apartments next to each other. Oh, I guess I didn't explain what happens with synergy. That will basically increase your production by 10%. There's also negative synergy that you can get by doing something like placing a factory next to a residential building. They don't like the pollution and the noise, so that's a negative synergy, which I believe will decrease your production by 20%. So the negative synergy is much worse, but these guys are doing pretty good right here. Alright, that is about all for this challenge, so I will go ahead and speed this up and we'll cut to where we have 250 water. Alright, we are done with that challenge. Let's go on to challenge number 2. A knowledge economy. So our goal is 10 units of knowledge, which is a much more advanced unit that will take us a little bit to get. Okay, so we're gonna need offices eventually, but it's always the same, starting out with your basic blocks. We don't have a very big plot this time around. Oh, look at that, we have 150 money. So I'm definitely going to start with the resources that use money, because it'll take us a long time to deplete that 150 money. Okay, so for our offices, we need electricity, labor, and knowledge. Oh, okay. I guess it's the school that produces knowledge. We don't have to build the offices. But it takes a lot of youth for our school, which I believe, yeah, comes from the large apartment, because you can't have youth in your small apartments, you know? But for now, we'll just throw a beach grove down here. Actually, I probably should have put that somewhere that we can get synergy with an apartment. Shoot. Well, I can actually delete that. It's not ideal, but it's okay. I will put that here. And we'll bring a little corridor in. Okay. I'm gonna put down the large apartment just because even though we don't have enough things for it yet, it'll be a while before it degrades, and we can take care of the leisure before it degrades all the way. So funnily enough, the ash tree actually provides more leisure than the big Beech Grove Park. So we'll drop that down there. I guess now's a good time to take a look at seeing this decay. So you can see that this already started. Whoops, let's get out of this. There we go. This has already started to slightly turn red. Oh, yep, it's going pretty quickly now. And once that gets all the way red, it will disappear. I would like to avoid that if at all possible. Let's see what's happening here. It seems to be okay. So, yeah, alright. The decay is reducing. Everything else looks pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna put down another ash tree on this end. And another large apartment across the way. And now we have synergy for that one as well. But we don't have quite enough leisure. So, let's see. Fresh air. What is our fresh air situation? 26. Alright. We don't need that. So we'll just stick with the ash trees for now, because they don't take much water, and they give us quite a bit of leisure. Our water is now breaking even, but we have 63 stored up, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll wait to take care of it. Okay, so our families in our large apartments are too busy taking care of the children, and they're not producing labor, just consumer waste and kids. What do you know? How typical. Okay, so we'll do a small apartment here, and that will help us gain labor. We'll throw down yet another park. Yes, this is the one I want. And extend out our corridor. Okay, our water and electricity are going down fairly quickly now. So I am going to take care of that back here. And pretty soon, we'll start making money too. We just need to build this office here. Oh, not the office. I wanted to build the corner store, but I guess we can't do that yet. So we'll put in the school first. And then the office. Let's see, what is our output from this school? 5 knowledge. Okay. That should work all right. So you can see it's kind of a running circle all the time, and you can't always worry about if something is decaying. You can take a look, but you don't have to worry too badly if it's decaying a little bit. But everything looks pretty good so far. Oh, biodiversity. Visualize the biodiversity of each block. Green means strong biodiversity. Improving this will allow for non-human species to show up, I guess? We can't read the rest of that. Okay. Oh, look at that. I wasn't even paying attention. And we got our challenge complete. All right. Let's try one more. Tycoon. Okay, 500 money. That is a lot of money. And once again, we have this tiny little plot of land. Alright, so I'll do our basic starting things and cut to once I have that done. Alright, welcome back. We have our basic setup here. I went ahead and built several water pumps and windmills just to kind of start getting a stockpile of those resources, because that way if we do go in the negative, it won't matter for a while because we'll have enough waiting for us. Okay, so money is our goal, and the things we have that will give us money are the cafe, the corner store, and the barbershop. Looks like we can't build offices in this particular challenge, but the corner store is pretty good for money. So I will plop that one down right here. No synergy, apparently. I wonder, though, if we build a cafe next to it, then maybe that will have synergy, because I would assume they'd give each other business, and that would work pretty well. Whoops, okay, but we need bread. Alright, well, let's find out what makes bread. Alright, well, I don't actually see anything that gives us bread. So either we won't build that, or we're just gonna have to deal with it deteriorating. I'm not sure what the ideal situation is there. We might just want to stick with building corner stores or barbershops, since those are things that we can provide for. So we'll see if this has the synergy. Looks like it does. Fantastic. Okay, oh, risk. Be careful, as some resources might have negative effects on excess. Alright, well, I'm not entirely sure what happens with things like that. I don't think I've seen risk as an input, but maybe there is an offset where something will give you plus risk because it's safe. I'm not entirely sure on that. That one is new to me. Seems like a few things have changed since the last time I played. Well, it doesn't seem to be decaying at all by giving us negative risk. Alright, our money is not going up very quickly, so I want to build more offices and barbershops. Oh, ooh, or we could build a plastics factory. No, we don't really have a way to produce oil either. Very interesting. I don't know if that is a mistake or if I'm just supposed to deal with that. But for the time being, I'm just gonna make another apartment. Give us some more laborers and consumers. Oh dear, now we have a lot of things in the negative. Okay, we'll build another park.
Hello there.
Hello. I've never heard them talk before. Whoopsies! Foxy was in Foxy Talk on Discord, so, people were listening to me recording, and I was like, what's going on? Why am I hearing voices? I thought the fucking game was talking to me. Lols. Okay. Let's put in a newsstand. I'm really curious to find out what happens with this risk factor. And I don't need to... Whoops. Get out of here. I don't want the biodiversity turned on. Thank you. So I want to see what happens if we... Whoops. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Alright. We can fortunately just delete blocks, and I don't think we're really punished for it. We'll find out shortly if the risk factor does anything super bad to us. Uh-oh. Agent unlocked. Security. Okay. I don't know what that means. Is that a... Oh! Oh, looky there. That is something that is new to me. We have our little people hanging out here. So consumers appear wherever there are good deals or shiny things to buy. I don't know what the benefits are. Well, guys, I'm not entirely sure what the agents are about. That is not something I experienced the last time I played this game. And I did run through the tutorials real quick before recording this, and it didn't explain anything about that. So for now, I guess we'll just be happy we have some little people wandering around. I'm gonna throw in another corner store here, though. Right across the street from the other one, so they can steal the business. Uh-oh, running low on consumers. I believe the large apartment is going to be our highest amount of consumer, so I'll throw that in there. Oh no! And now our fresh air is running low. Okay. We'll do the big grove this time. And we get synergy. Hooray! And one more park here for some leisure. Leisure. I say leisure. I was just saying leisure because it's fun to say things the way that I don't normally say them. Okay, again, I don't know why we should be concerned about negative greenhouse gas and negative risk. I feel like those are good things to have in the negative, but I could be wrong. Maybe I just don't understand their purpose. But for now, I think we're doing pretty well. We've got a 0.56 positive production in money. Ooh, God, the organic waste. That seems like something that would be really terrible. And the gray water. But, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be affecting anything, really. Okay, well, I will go ahead and let this play out. And cut back to when we have reached our goal. Alright, welcome back. Because we're doing a challenge, and not like an open sandbox, I wasn't concerned with what else I'm going to build after we get to the 500 money. So I went ahead and built a corner store and a barbershop just to speed up the money situation. We're definitely going in the negative on things like consumer. Well, really just consumer, I guess. But like I said, you can still produce. Buildings will just decay if they're not having an input. But there you have it. That is Blockhood, the first 3 challenges. It's a fun little game. If you have some spare cash and you want to pick it up, I highly recommend it. It can be quite a bit of fun, and it is still in early access, so obviously some things have changed because they caught me by surprise, and I will have to look into those changes, see if I can figure out what those inhabitants are all about. Because it doesn't seem to me like it's like I really care that much whether they're happy or sad, because I can't tell if they actually give me a benefit or anything of the sort. Okay, well, thanks a lot for joining me, boys and berries. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and until next time, stay foxy.